So recently I did a poll on LinkedIn asking all of you which supply chain position job interview do you find the most difficult? And the options I gave were supply/demand planning manager, logistics manager, customer service manager, or any other job. And a whopping 83% of the respondents did say that they find supply and demand planning job interviews most difficult. So therefore, I decided to make this two-part video series where in this video, I will cover with you the top questions that come in a demand planning manager job interview. And we will cover those questions in the areas of technical skills, leadership skills, collaboration skills, and analytical skills. So watch till the end. My name is Jamil Hai, and I've been working in supply chain management positions across South Asia, Middle East, and North America for the last 2 decades. And my mission is to help supply chain professionals like you build real-life skills for your job and career that they don't teach you in college. So do subscribe to my channel. And by the way, I'm also running coaching sessions if you are looking for a job in supply chain, preparing for an interview, navigating your career from one country to another, or you have questions about your career path. So you can book those coaching calls by clicking on my LinkedIn profile. So demand planning roles are extremely pivotal and central roles in any supply chain organization. Why? Because these roles are basically connecting the dots between the supply side, the marketing side, the sales side, and finance side, and so on. In one of my previous videos, I did cover the S&OP process and I explained the 5-step process. And I did mention that step number 2 in the S&OP is the demand planning step. And that's the step where you are basically collecting all the data from the company and producing a forecast. And this demand planning manager position is basically managing a group of demand planners who are doing that forecasting. So providing them leadership and coaching. And this role also needs to have the right level of technical and analytical skills. And therefore, so let's first cover the most commonly asked questions in the technical skills part. The first question is, describe your experience with demand planning methodologies and forecasting techniques. So let's look at a real life example for answering this question. In one of my previous roles, I was a demand planner at the ABC Electronics company. The sales trends were quite volatile due to promotions. As a demand planner, I was responsible for forecasting demand for a range of consumer electronics products, and my performance was measured on the 3 months out forecast error. The target was to keep this within plus minus 10% range, but when I started, we were at minus 20%, which means that we were consistently selling more than the forecast. Before I started, the company was mainly using qualitative forecasting methods using market research data and consensus. The action I took was I introduced some quantitative techniques, including moving averages and exponential smoothing, to predict the base sales for the future while adding the building blocks for new initiatives and promotions after the detailed discussions with the sales and marketing teams. I also factored in external market data, competitor analysis, and new product launches to refine my forecasts. Additionally, I implemented a collaborative process, regular meetings with sales and marketing teams to gather their insights and ensure alignment. Through these efforts, I was able to achieve a forecast accuracy of plus minus 10% consistently for 6 months, which helped the company optimize their inventory levels, minimize stockouts, and improve the overall supply chain efficiency. So because this is a technical skill question, you can quote an example from a time when you are probably not a demand manager, but a demand planner, because basically you learned those technical skills in your early career days. And we will see that when we come to the leadership questions, they will be more pertaining to your role as a demand manager. The next technical question is, which demand planning software or tools have you used? So while answering this question, you can use a range of tools that you have used over the span of your career. Truth be told, and I think I've covered this in one of my previous videos, even today, 67% of companies use Microsoft Excel as their primary planning software. So don't be shy to mention Excel as the starting point in this question. So as an example, if I were to answer this question, I would say that I use Microsoft Excel to do my initial moving averages and building block forecasting in my first job. And then later on, I was a part of implementing the SAP IBP tool, which is the time when P&G was implementing it. And then later on, when I moved to Mars, I worked on JD Edwards, which is now known as Blue Yonder. And more recently, I also had the opportunity to work on Future Master. So by answering the question this way, you can also demonstrate your proficiency on multiple demand planning software, and that can really help you. So just to recap, don't be shy to mention Excel, because you might be feeling really shy that, oh, Excel is not really a forecasting tool. But the reality, like I said, is that a lot of companies still use it. So no need to be shy to mention that, but also do mention some of the other experience you had, because that can come in really handy in order for you to be successful in this job interview. Now let's move to the leadership questions. The first one is, describe your experience leading and motivating a demand planning team. So let's use another star story to explain this answer. In my previous role as a demand manager at Model Alpha Car, I managed a team of 5 demand planners responsible for forecasting demand for various car models across different regions. The automotive industry is known for its dynamic market conditions, with fluctuations in consumer preferences, new technology, adoption, and economic factors impacting demand constantly. This created a challenging environment for accurate forecasting and required a highly motivated and adaptable team. One of the biggest challenges I faced was keeping the team motivated during a period of significant model changeovers. New car models were being introduced while older models were being phased out. This meant that our team had to forecast demand for both the new and the established models, with limited historical data for the new ones. This increased the workload and the potential for inaccuracies, causing some team members to feel overwhelmed and discouraged and frustrated. To address this challenge, I followed a two-pronged approach focusing on motivation and collaboration. To motivate the team, I emphasized the importance of our role in ensuring smooth production flow and ultimately consumer satisfaction. We discussed how accurate forecasts would help avoid stockouts of critical parts and prevent production delays. I also empowered the team by delegating responsibility for specific models based on individual strengths. I also facilitated training sessions on new forecasting techniques for handling situations with limited historical data. This boosted their confidence and skill set. I implemented a system of recognizing individual and team achievements during our regular team meetings. We celebrated milestones such as achieving higher forecast accuracy for new models, which fostered a sense of accomplishment and the team spirit. Now, one thing I want to mention here is that celebrating small wins and recognizing your team for those small successes is very, very critical. Sometimes as a new manager, you focus more on things which are not going correctly, and you tend to ignore the things which are going right. And that's a very bad strategy, because you really have to empower your team and also recognize your team for the things that they're doing right, and then slowly also working with them on the areas which are not going well. There's a very nice book called Well Done on this topic, and if you are a manager, I strongly recommend you read this book, because this will tell you the importance of recognizing the team. And they have used the whale trainers as an example on how the whales really perform when they are recognized for even the smallest acts they do in terms of their performances and so on. So it's a great read. So strongly recommend all the managers out there to read this book. This was a little bit of a detour from our example. So let's go back to the star story and let's cover what this manager did in order to improve the team collaboration. To improve data accuracy, I initiated regular meetings with sales and marketing teams. This helped us better understand upcoming marketing campaigns and potential market shifts that could affect the demand. I encouraged the teams to share their knowledge and expertise with each other. We established a system where experienced team members mentored the newer ones on specific car models or forecasting techniques. This created a supportive team environment and promoted continuous learning. By combining these strategies, that is of collaboration and motivation, I successfully motivated my team and fostered collaborative atmosphere. Team morale improved significantly, leading to a 10% increase in forecast accuracy for new car models. Additionally, the improved cross-functional communication helped us anticipate market changes and adjust our forecasts proactively, minimizing production disruptions and delays. Now, management is a lot about also controlling things when they seem to be getting out of control. And one of the potential out of control things could be conflicts within your team. So the next question is about conflict management. How do you handle conflict resolution within your team? In my previous role as a demand manager at company Alpha, I managed a team of 6 demand planners responsible for forecasting demand across various product lines. While our team was generally collaborative, a conflict arose between 2 team members regarding their forecasting methodology for a new product launch. One member preferred a historical data-driven approach, while the other advocated for incorporating market research and competitor analysis. My task was to address this conflict constructively, ensure a data-driven forecast for the new product, and maintain a positive team environment. So I took the following actions. I first scheduled individual meetings with each team member to understand their perspectives and specific concerns about the forecasting methodology. I actively listened without judgment, allowing them to express their reasoning. I then brought the team members together for a joint meeting. I facilitated a discussion by encouraging healthy debate and sharing of relevant data points to support each other's approach. As the discussion progressed, I focused on identifying areas of agreement. This highlighted the importance of both historical data and a comprehensive understanding of market landscape for new product forecasting. We then worked together to create a hybrid forecasting methodology. This approach leveraged historical sales data for similar products while incorporating insights from market research and competitor analysis. This solution addressed both team members' concerns, ensuring a data-driven and comprehensive forecast for the new product launch. By facilitating open communication and finding a common ground, we were able to effectively resolve the conflict. The team members developed a new level of respect for each other's perspectives and learned the value of collaboration. They successfully implemented the hybrid forecasting methodology, leading to a highly accurate forecast for the new product launch. Now let's move to the next section, which is about communication and collaboration. And you'll see that in some of the questions here, they will be asking about your collaborative skills with sales and marketing, because like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the demand manager role is really like a pivotal role, which is bringing in the supply side of the equation with the demand side of the equation, which is basically it's bringing together supply chain folks, and it's also playing a very, very critical role in getting the inputs from sales and marketing, because they are the ones who are really basically selling, or they are designing products and they're creating demand. So it's a role that basically gets the best of people who are creating demand and then who are fulfilling that demand. How do you collaborate with sales, marketing, and supply chain teams to ensure alignment? In my previous role as a demand manager at company Zulu, I was responsible for managing forecasts across a diverse product line. While our team possessed strong analytical skills, I recognized the importance of fostering collaboration with other departments to ensure overall business success. The key challenge was ensuring that our demand forecasts were aligned with the goals set by the sales and marketing teams and the supply chain team's capabilities. Without proper alignment, inaccurate forecasts could lead to stockouts, missed sales opportunities, or overproduction and excess inventory. In order to address this challenge, I did the following things. I established a schedule of regular meetings with sales, marketing, and supply chain teams. These meetings served as a platform for open communication and information sharing. We developed a system for sharing data and insights relevant to each department. This included sharing historical sales data with marketing to understand consumer trends and incorporating sales teams' insights into forecast adjustments. We also collaborated with the supply chain team to understand production lead times and inventory limitations. Instead of working in silos, we adopted a joint planning approach. We participated in collaborative goal-setting sessions, ensuring our demand forecast supported the sales and marketing team's sales targets and aligned with the supply chain's production capacity. We incorporated scenario planning into our forecasting process. We considered different market possibilities and potential disruptions, ensuring everyone was prepared to adjust strategies accordingly. By fostering a culture of collaboration and open communication, we achieved a significant improvement in alignment across departments. Our demand forecasts became more accurate, reflecting the sales team's goals and considering the supply chain's constraints. This led to 10% reduction in stockouts and a 7% increase in on-time deliveries, ultimately enhancing customer satisfaction and improving overall business efficiency. Now let's look at the next question. How do you effectively communicate complex forecasting data to non-technical audiences? Now, this is a very, very good question, because one of the biggest challenges that you will face in your supply chain career as a whole, not just in a demand manager role, is how do you constantly translate complex data and explain it to people who are not that technical. Imagine if you are even the supply chain director of a company and you have a very difficult problem which is leading to some out of stocks, and there is sourcing involved, there is quality involved, and there is production involved, and there is a lot of data there, and you have to then simplify all of that information and explain it to a lot of non-technical people in the team who could be marketing teams or sales teams and so on. So this is a constant challenge that you have to grapple with. So from that context, this is a great question. In my previous role as a demand manager at Superior Tech, I was responsible for presenting demand forecasts to various stakeholders, including executives, sales representatives, and the members of the finance team. The audiences often had limited technical knowledge of the forecasting methodologies. The challenge was to effectively communicate complex forecasting data in a way that was clear, concise, and actionable for non-technical audiences. Technical jargon and overwhelming data dumps could lead to confusion and hinder the understanding of the insights that I aim to convey. So I took the following actions. I tailored my presentations to a specific audience. For executives, I focused on key trends and potential impacts on business goals. For sales representatives, I highlighted specific product demand forecasts and potential sales opportunities. For finance, I presented data with the supporting explanations but avoided overly technical terminology. I leveraged visuals such as charts, graphs, and heat maps to present complex data in an easily digestible format. Additionally, I used storytelling techniques to explain the rationale behind the forecasts, connecting the data to real-world scenarios and business implications. I encouraged interactive discussions after presentations. I used plain language and answered questions in a clear and concise manner. The interactive format ensured everyone had a clear understanding of data and its implications. By adopting these communication strategies, I was able to effectively convey complex forecasting data to non-technical audiences. Stakeholders consistently responded positively, expressing a clear understanding of the forecasting insights and their impact on their roles. This enabled them to make informed decisions based on the reliable data and also improved my rapport with them. Now let's look at a question in the last section, which is analytical skills. How do you handle situations with uncertain or volatile demand? In my previous role as a demand manager at Zeta Sports, I was responsible for forecasting demand for a range of sporting goods, a category known for seasonal fluctuations and external factors influencing buying patterns. During a particularly unpredictable year, we faced a sudden surge in demand for bicycles due to a nationwide fitness craze. The challenge was to navigate this unexpected demand surge and minimize disruptions to our supply chain. Our initial forecast based on historical data significantly underestimated the actual demand, leading to potential stockouts and lost sales opportunities. I immediately analyzed real-time sales data to identify the extent of demand increase and pinpoint specific bicycle models experiencing the surge. I collaborated with the sales team to understand customer trends and gather insights from the front lines. We implemented a more agile demand signal management process. We increased the frequency of our forecast updates, incorporating real-time sales data and insights from the sales team. We collaborated with the marketing team to explore potential demand shaping strategies. This included offering pre-order options for popular models or highlighting alternatives and in-stock bicycle options to manage customer expectations. By combining data analysis, agile forecasting, and proactive communication, we were able to mitigate the impact of the unexpected demand surge. The increased forecast accuracy helped us secure additional inventory from suppliers, and the demand shaping strategies minimized customer frustration from potential stockouts. We successfully navigated the volatile demand period and continued to meet customer needs with minimal disruption. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I've also made videos on topics like supply planner job interview questions, and also do certifications really help in getting a supply chain job. And you can watch those videos by clicking over here. Keep watching.